I know a lot of people that are constrained by their limiting beliefs around pricing. They don't think they can charge enough. They think they need to offer their service for free, or they offer it for so cheap that they just get walked over by their clients. On the other hand, you have people out there that are just as inexperienced as you, and you see this everywhere. They're closing $4,000 a month clients, and they don't look like they're anything special. You might see them on YouTube, you might see them on school.com. And it kind of pisses you off. They're the same as you, but because of your limiting beliefs, you think you can't charge as much as them, or you think that they know something that you don't. When I first started my SMMA, my pricing structure was all over the place. I started out at $4,000 a month, then dropped it to $2,000 a month, then offered a 75% discount for $500 a month. I never found one pricing structure that was good and stuck with it. Gurus were telling me to charge $2,000 a month, but they never explained how I can actually retain someone for $2,000 a month and justify it to them. Or if I did find someone that wanted to work with me, I would offer them way too much work in exchange for a really cheap service fee. Notice how I said cheap there. Not discounted, but cheap. Just keep watching this video and you'll understand what I mean by the difference. And you'll understand what I'm currently doing now to ensure that I can sign way more clients, retain them, and even gain referrals and sign more clients off of that without doing any outreach, straight off word of mouth. This video might piss you off a little bit because I bet that you're down the SMMA rabbit hole on YouTube where you're seeing so many gurus and they're telling you to do $2,000 a month or $4,000, and here I come in like a dick and I flip the script and I tell you to do something completely different. And most of those gurus, their reasoning behind a $2,000 or $4,000 a month contract is the fact that they'll just chalk it up to your limiting beliefs. If you don't think you can sell something for that expensive, it's your limiting beliefs. And that's somewhat true, but not entirely. People need to wake up and think about why these gurus are telling you to charge these ridiculously high prices when you have no experience. Think about it. They want you to start off charging these high prices because if you sign one client, it means that their job is done and they no longer have to do anything for you. These people don't care about your long-term success. They're just trying to sell you that $10K a month dream. And do you really think when you sign a client for $4,000 a month, and that's your first client, that you'll be able to live up to the expectations? You need to experiment with your service. You need to figure out what's going to work. Now, before I get into the actual pricing structure that worked for me and that I think will work for absolutely anyone out there, I already discussed this topic in my free school community on a call, and everyone in that call gained a ton of valuable information to move forward in their SMMA. If you want to join that, I'm trying to get to my full-time income. Everyone else is trying to get to their full-time income. We've got 150 members, and it's a super active community. So click that first link in the description and join it right now for free, and then come back to the video. So with that being said, this pricing model that I'm going to get into is exactly what you need to sign your first client, retain them, and then upsell them and gain their referral. The best thing that you can do in business. Without rambling anymore, the structure I'm talking about is literally a mistake that I made no more than 36 hours ago. This is fresh information. If I watched this video beforehand, that would have saved me so much headache, and I literally would be making 3 times as more money. Okay, so to start off with this, there's 3 pricing models you can choose. 2 of them you want to avoid at all costs. One of them is going to be your ticket to signing your first client, retaining them, and then upselling them. The first model, and this one you do want to avoid, is free. Do not offer free services. And yes, I mean even just a 7-day free trial. You might think of offering your service for free just to gain a bit of experience and so that it's an easy sell, but that's a major mistake, and this is exactly why. When you offer a service for free, your client has no skin in the game. They've got no reason to care. They're not going to expect some crazy returns because they're not even paying you. And on top of that, when you need them to stick their neck out a bit to get some footage or reply to your text with some more information, they're not going to bother because that's the least of their priorities. They have no investment. They don't want to invest their money, and they certainly don't want to invest their time. And so you might think, well, what about just a free trial? A 7-day, a 14-day free trial? The reason why this isn't good is because as a marketing agency, it takes time. That's why we start at 30-day contracts, 1-month contracts. It takes at least a month to start seeing that success. Yeah, you can get them some appointments in the first month, but really the long-term success is not apparent in the first month. And it definitely isn't in the first 7 or 14 days. And on top of that, the type of customers that you're going to attract that want free stuff are really not the ones you want to work with. Now, don't get this mistaken with offering one free something. If you do content creation, you can offer one free video. If you do website design, you can offer them one free website analysis where you look at their whole website and show them what they can do better. Don't offer your service for an extended period amount of time for free. You can give them one free something, but that's the most. Even with that, that is unnecessary. You don't even need to do that. Now, looking at the next thing, you've got cheap. If you're not going to offer a free service, you might think about offering a cheap service. The reason why people do this is because it's a little bit of an investment. Your client has a bit of skin in the game. They want to get their money back and they want to make an ROI. But at the same time, this mistake is costly because it sets your bar super low. And this mistake is that one thing I was telling you about that I made 36 hours ago. And if I didn't make this mistake, I'd be making 3 times the amount of money off that one client. But now, more than likely, I'm going to lose that client because I did this. So when you sign someone for cheap, the first month goes well. You're working, they're working hard, getting you the information you need. You're producing them the results. It's perfect. And then the dreaded month 2 negotiations roll around. Now, this time you're going to be happy. You're going to be like, damn, I'm going to be able to collect another bag. I'm going to be working with them again. They were a great client. I loved working with them. And now you're negotiating. They think because you offered them a cheap service at first and you didn't tell them their intention that you want to offer a more expensive service in the future, that they think they can get it again for that cheap, when that is not the case. As soon as you raise the price for them, they're going to be up in arms about the amount that you're asking for. Since they were your first client, you probably gave them a fantastic service, but you gave it for a cheap price. How are you going to compete with that? Of course, if you offer them the same service for 4 times or 5 times the price, it'd still be worth it. But they can't justify that. They can't justify the same service for 5 times as much. Even though it would be worth it, it's the human nature. They know that they've gotten it for 500, so why would they spend more than that? You put the bar too low and you welded it to the wall, and now it will not come off from that low level. Their budget won't even extend that cheap price that you offer them for. Quite literally, you could offer them 10 more things on your service and they still won't upgrade because they know they can get it for cheaper now. In my experience, what happened with me, I gave a client a contract for $500 a month, 6 social media videos a week. That is 24 videos for a month for $500. I was doing the scripting. I was paying for 11 Labs to get my own voiceovers, and I had to adjust the voiceovers every single time. I put the footage together. I added transitions, clips. I paid for a stock footage license that was about $60 a month. I did everything. The videos I made him generated more than $60,000 of revenue in just over 30 days. I think it was about 40 or 45 days. Realistically, if I charged him $2,000, that would still be a crazy return on investment. However, I set the bar way too low and I can no longer raise the bar. I had the right idea, but I executed it poorly. And the reason why was because of this one thing that I didn't add to my offer that would have changed everything, and things would have still been going smoothly. But now, because I offered a cheap service, he no longer wants to re-sign with me. I can't justify the work because it was about $8 an hour when I thought about it. And because of that, I'm probably going to lose the client. And that sucks. So the thing I'd do differently is not offer a free service, not offer a cheap service, but offer a discounted service. Make it apparent to the client that you're at the cheap price. Make it apparent to the client that the price you're giving them is lower than you'd like, and it's a discounted price, meaning that in the future it's gonna go up. Write this about 2 times on the contract. Once on the top, saying discounted price in brackets or something. And then once in the subsection of the contract where it says, 1.4 pricing, this will be a 1-month contract at a 75% off rate for $500, 50% off for $500, whatever you're doing. Make it apparent that it's discounted. Don't scream it in their face. Don't show them it's a discount. It's going to get really expensive. It's going to be super expensive and rinse your bank account. Just tell them, look, it will be going up. I'm giving you a discounted rate. If they say why, say that because you want to onboard as many people as possible to get them ready for the summer months when it's going to be super busy. Make sure you also mention that there's no commitment. There's a money back guarantee and there's no commitment. At the end of the month, they are not required to pay that full price anymore. This means that when 100%, they can test you out and see if it's worth it. The reason why this works so well is because your service isn't cheap. It's discounted. They get to have a taste of what you can provide for them while not giving too much skin in the game where it's a risk. But at the same time, at the end of the month, they know that you're worth it. They know that you generally charge more, and they're more open to that idea. And they've already experienced your skill, so if they don't sign with you, they can see the difference in their business that it makes when you don't sign.